Sentence by sentence, Donna Tartt is an incredible writer. It's no easy task to keep a novel super entertaining, but also really kind of plumb the depths of humanity. If you're new to this channel, definitely be sure to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed and you've been enjoying these reviews and this book related content, go ahead and hit the bell icon so that you can be notified when new videos are posted. The Secret History by Donna Tartt is the best literary page turner that I've ever read in my life, and I'm gonna review it, talk about it a little bit, but I'm not gonna give away anything that happens beyond about the 30-page mark, because a lot of the joy of this book is getting to experience the reveals of it in real time. So definitely, if you're thinking about reading it, I would try to avoid plot spoilers at all costs. That being said, the book itself presents one of the major plot points that happens later in the story chronologically, right at the beginning. You learn that one of the characters, one of the, let's call them the main 6 characters, gets murdered by the others. And so from the very beginning, you know that you're building towards at least that violent end, and you don't know what else is going to be revealed along the way. The premise of the book is that the narrator, who's from California, is looking to get away from home, does not have a good relationship with his family, and so he picks a school on the opposite side of the country. He goes to Vermont to go to school, a place called Hampton College, and there he falls in with this group of some highly intelligent, others a little doofier students who study ancient Greek, and they take pretty much all of their classes from the same wealthy and very interesting professor. And so that's kind of the setup. Within this already fairly small school, the narrator falls in with this very small group of people who are kind of existing within their own world. And these people are obsessed with classics, in particular, obviously Greek. And so I don't want to give too much away about what those characters are interested in beyond their Greek studies, but just know that they have some additional obsessions that are pretty interesting on the page. The scenes where you really start to discover what else they do together, those are pretty cool. And so, like I said, one of the main characters is murdered by the others, and you know that right from the beginning. And that really gives the entire story a very haunting feel. This is the cornerstone, the epitome of dark academia. I don't think there's a book that came before it that necessarily is better known for being within the dark academia category. Please correct me if I'm wrong about that, but this one certainly stood out to me as being the most prominent in that space. And as I said, that murder reveal towards the very beginning, just in the first few pages, really sets the tone up to be a lot darker and haunted. The narration is happening at a later time, and the main character is reflecting back on the actions of the novel. But beyond that setup, what I loved about it was how good the prose is. Sentence by sentence, Donna Tartt is an incredible writer. I've heard some people try to knock her writing style or call it too detailed or whatever, and I think that's total nonsense. I think she is one of the best writers who's solidly kind of in the Dickensian tradition. And so others who I would compare what she's capable of doing to, not that their novels end up being similar in terms of reading experience necessarily. The ones that I would compare her to are Jonathan Franzen and John Irving. Those two writers also are very good at drawing pretty heavily on the tradition that Dickens started. And Donna Tartt is really forthcoming with how much Dickens influenced her writing style. So I think that's definitely a fair comparison to draw. It's no easy task to keep a novel super entertaining, but also really kind of plumb the depths of humanity. And Donna Tartt does that better than pretty much anyone else I've seen do it. This novel really stands out to me. It's definitely in the top 15 or 20 most entertaining novels that I've read, and in terms of literary merit, it's up there too. So definitely, if you weren't considering reading it before, add this to your list. If you were considering reading it, take this as your cue to pick it up and dive in. I highly recommend The Secret History. Now, I did purchase The Goldfinch before I bought this, and I picked it up and started reading it. The Goldfinch is, at the time of this video being made, the most recent Donna Tartt novel that has been published. And for whatever reason, I didn't take to it as well as I did this one. I think part of that has to do with this novel having darker subject matter. And also, I've been out of college for a little while. I've been out of college going on 5 years now, but I'm still close enough to that space that being able to return to it on some level is pretty nostalgic and lovely. So probably that is why I'm drawn to The Secret History more so than The Goldfinch. But I've heard great things about The Goldfinch, and now that I've finished The Secret History, I'm pretty keen to start that one. So definitely look out for some Goldfinch related content in the near future. Of the characters in the book, the one that's most interesting to me is Henry. I think his last name is Winter, Henry Winter. He is described as the biggest of the group and definitely like the most physically powerful, but he also had some sort of injury in his childhood that makes it so that he has these sort of chronic headaches. And he's some kind of strange mix between the judge from Blood Meridian, if you're familiar with that hyper-violent and very philosophical character, and like Harry Potter. He's got kind of this almost like chosen one feel about him. And obviously he is among this group that does some pretty horrible things. You hear about those things right from the beginning of the story, but he is in the most scenes in the novel. He probably has the most conversations with the main character, and I found him to be fascinating. I think he's probably a favorite for a lot of people as well. I'm really curious to hear from those of you who have also read The Secret History, so let me know what you love about it, who your favorite characters are, what you got out of it, and if you've read other Donna Tartt novels, which of those you like as well, maybe which is your favorite. I'm very keen to have some conversations about this book, so let's get those started in the comments.